Dan here. Welcome. I'm recording this pretty late on Saturday evening. Jenny and I have been, for the past few weeks, knee deep in our wedding preparations. We pretty much got everything paid. We got final deadlines on a few things coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I'm very excited to marry my best friend. I've been working on my vows. I have thrown them away more times than I have counted at this point in order to write something else. It's tough to encapsulate exactly how you feel about somebody and how much it means to you when you want something to be perfect. I'm starting to think that the old adage that perfect is the enemy of complete or finished is true here. So I'll keep you in the loop as to if I finish them anytime in the next couple weeks. So September is going to be insanely busy for us. So please give us a little bit of grace if I end up taking a couple days off for stream here. I know in October I'll be taking a week off to help celebrate with Jenny. We're going to be going to Asheville, North Carolina, one of our favorite places on the face of the planet, to hang out. So we'll be taking a week there. We're going to go see the hives. That's going to be super dope. But in September, we have my 8th anniversary of not only streaming, but also being a non-smoker. That is a reality that I didn't know if I'd be able to see when I started that journey in and of itself. I used to smoke a lot, a lot when I was in my 20s. I was fairly thin and fairly frail from just smoking cigarettes all the time and barely eating. It was an awful time. And you could see how bad of a time I was having, probably in the photos from my band and stuff. I thought I looked cool. Turns out that wasn't the case at all. But yeah, September 6th is our 8th anniversary of streaming to the Twitch channel. The 8 years has taught me a lot. If there's one thing it's taught me, it's that you'll always be surprised by your community. You'll never truly know the impact you have on somebody, regardless of where you are in any directory or what game you play. It's what time of day you play. You never truly know exactly the full impact of what you do. And if I've been blessed by any deity, I wouldn't know who, but if I were to be blessed by any deity for the community that I have, I must have done something right because you guys have been awesome. So thank you so much from the bottom of my dirty little heart for 8 years. We'll do something to celebrate it. Not entirely sure because I have the wedding on the 20th. I've had a few people ask about registry stuff. I have a couple of links. One of them we're keeping more private and more for the group that is being invited to our reception dinner. And another one that I've made more public in the Discord server. If you'd like a link to our registry at Crate and Barrel or something, I can send you that. Just send me a DM. So yeah, that's going to be a huge day. September 20th, a life-changing day. And then September 24th is my birthday. I will be live that entire day. We'll be doing different segments. I think one of the segments that we're going to be doing is called Quiet Library, based on the Japanese game show. We'll see how it goes. I'm still putting together pieces and reaching out to people to play that day. So just bear with me, but I'm working on the technical aspects in OBS right now to be able to have that work, so that there's a little light on. The idea right now is that there's a little light on the screen, and as my voice hits a certain decibel level, it'll push into yellow and into red, and then there's consequences. September is also Subtember on Twitch. As always, I don't expect anything. Just thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. And save 25% on your subs on the web. Also, don't buy your subs via the Twitch app on your phone or anything. You're getting charged way more than you should. And creators like me are not seeing nearly as much of it as we probably should. Another thing that might affect schedule over the next few months, years, who knows. There was a job opportunity at the library that I'm applying for It is a 40-hour position that is non-public facing and puts me in more of a situation where I would be teaching people how to use computers, channeling my Raid Sherpa knowledge in that. I feel like that would be a good fit for me in the organization, in the library that I'm at. So we'll see how that goes. And if I have any developments on that, I will let you know for sure. Odds are I probably wouldn't hear back about it until maybe October. So probably nothing major in the short term, but in the longer term, the next couple months, you might see some changes. On the channel recently, we've been playing a lot of variety stuff, a lot more Elden Ring. We beat Godric a couple weeks back on a Tuesday, just on a whim. I played a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3 with my monk build, which monks are insane in Baldur's Gate 3. I can't believe how powerful they are so early on in the game. Mainly for the versus variety streams, which I've started out in August. We've been playing Prey, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. It is a game, it is an immersive sim. It came out in 2017. It was largely panned because of how buggy it was when it first launched. But I think that there's been like a cult following and an affection for it as the years have gone on. I first played it on Xbox on stream probably about like 5 years ago. I would say probably about 5 years ago when I just did everything. I did the alien powers, I did human powers. It was a lot of fun. Super creepy because the mimics can jump out and be anything, but it's totally worth the reward in the end to play the full thing through. We're doing another playthrough of that right now for versus variety. I'm not taking any of the alien powers. Instead, I am doing the human stuff. We're boosting my strength, boosting my stamina, everything along those lines. But that's been a super fun experience again. I've forgotten enough about the game that it is brand new again. Or like there were a few jump scares in there that truly terrified me to the point where my butt probably left maybe about a foot off of my chair during one of the streams. So come check that out on Thursdays. Destiny 2. What can I say about Destiny 2 that hasn't already been said? I know that there's a large conversation in the community of like what would fix Destiny 2 for players. As somebody who is a veteran player who has logged thousands of hours in the game at this point, I have a lot of gear. I have done just about every activity in Destiny 2, and I'm not really doing anything for myself anymore, but I am helping people with activities. I feel like the game is largely solved. You'll still see it on the channel, specifically on Sundays where I'll be helping people with PvE activities. And if there's something new, I'll definitely hop in and try to play those activities when they go live. We have Act 3 coming up on the Tuesday after this releases, so I'll be hopping in then. But I also have to be mindful that there are people who are coming to this game either after long breaks or brand new with the final shape that don't share my feelings and my opinions on this game. They're still pushing to get their characters to end game, to get the loot that I've had years at this point to get. So I'm trying not to be too much of a Debbie Downer about it, which is really tough, especially with the layoff conversation from this past month. Also, Destiny Digest has kind of been in limbo because I wasn't sure what the future of the game would be, and I don't think the other folks that I've tagged as being hosts for that also thought anything about what the future might hold. We've started to get more of a picture over the past couple of weeks, and we'll see what the need is and fill that need as we go forward. I still want to make stuff with the team that I've asked to do Destiny Digest with. I think that that's something that I'm going to continue to pursue. But Destiny Digest and the Double Downs will be something that will be a part of the content structure for the future. I really just don't know when that time hits quite yet. This past week was also Gamescom, which we had the pleasure of being an official co-stream with the Future Games Show. I've partnered with them a few times now to do kind of watch-alongs, and that's been super fun over the past year. I want to say that started happening. I do want to say that the showcase on Wednesday probably was, to me, more entertaining and had more games that I was excited for than the actual opening night live showcase, which did have probably two of the things that I'm most looking forward to over the next couple of years. With Secret Level, the show that will be on Amazon Prime that just focuses on lot of different IP from around gaming, tabletop, and video game related. That's from Blur Studio, the studio that is behind hundreds of video game cinematics, as well as the show Love, Death, and Robots, which is probably one of my favorite Netflix shows of the past decade. They've been around that long, right? Right. Probably decade. Probably ever. Let's just say that. And the opening night live showcase did have a spot for Borderlands 4, which, while it didn't show any gameplay, did show some interesting things in its little teaser trailer. The Borderlands franchise, I really like a lot. I played through 2 entirely, as well as 3. I really love the DLC for 3. I feel like many of the DLCs were actually better than the main Borderlands 3 storyline altogether. However, like the different biomes and everything, those were like really exciting and enticing to jump into. I loved Flack. I loved Zane. Those characters were awesome. I want to see where the universe evolves into next and just what we'll be doing on Pandora or wherever else with number 4. That is despite all of the movie conversation and controversy, whatever. For the Future Game Showcase, it actually had a couple of games that I'm really excited for, with Phantom Line, which is a 4-player co-op horror game where you in a squad are taking on what bumps in the night, from like eldritch horror to slasher films, just really cool stuff. I'm getting more and more into horror as time progresses, and it excited me very much to see a 4-player horror mode that wasn't like Phasmophobia. The John Wick style gun fu game Spine looks really cool. It actually has a soundtrack from the John Wick composer. That looks super rad. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments, either on Spotify or on YouTube. Yeah, just an interesting time to be a gamer for sure. If you don't count that as a derogatory term. Do you? Also comment that. That pretty much wraps up my thoughts for this double down. My weekly recommendation is actually the new M. Night Shyamalan movie Trap that stars Josh Hartnett. And also Haley Mills from like the very first Parent Trap movie, which was kind of blew my mind when I saw her name pop up on the film. Jenny and I just went and saw that tonight, and it was a blast. It was a blast to see in theaters. It was really fun. It's just a stupid popcorn movie. We haven't been going to your Daredevils versus Wolverines because that's making its money. It is what it is. I don't feel like I have to keep shoveling coal into the Disney machine, as it were. But I really enjoyed Trap. The performance that Josh Hartnett puts out is excellent. Seeing the clockwork of the movie open up as you get deeper and deeper in is fun. It's an interesting film, and if you don't catch it in theaters, at least watch it when it comes out on VOD eventually. Really liked that one. It's also like the first M. Night Shyamalan movie I've seen in forever. And with this director and with Josh Hartnett, it really feels like a movie that probably should have come out in like 2004 or something, but I digress. Trap the movie, go watch that. It was definitely worth the hour and 50 minutes runtime or whatever. And with that, thank you so much for listening. My name's Danfinity. You can find me basically everywhere at DanfinityGG, except for on Twitch, twitch.tv/Danfinity, where you will find me 3 nights a week, helping folks, hanging out, playing video games. I'm having fun. Discord.gg/Danfinity if you want to join the community there. And if you're listening to this, no matter where you're listening, a like, a review, a rating, any of those things help us with an algorithm. I hate making things for the algorithm. I like making things for you, but anything helps other people discover what we're doing here. Again, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you find what you're grinding for.